I decided to go see how Maki was doing. She looked like she had a pretty bad shock back there. Plus, I'm worried that Clado might hear about what we're planning to do. Are you okay with that injury on your leg? Thank you very much for worrying about me. Thanks to you, I'm alright now. Besides, everyone else is working so hard it would be inexcusable if I rested instead of putting in my share. Is that what the axe is for? Yes, I'm chopping firewood. Oh. Without it, I won't even be able to make Camus a cup of tea. If that's the case, just let me handle it. Besides, you should be resting. That hot-blooded knight's gonna have a word or three to say to you if he catches you in a place like this, I bet. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, he wouldn't. Well, I take the axe from Maki and send her back inside the house. If I'm here, I'll know right away if she steps outside. But for the Gyazo army to loot... Hey, Niklatov, I wonder if casting aside our allegiance to the Knights of Matilda was really the right thing to do. Oh, you know it was. That time, our knight emblems were... Hey, Camus. Do you remember when we were taking the exam to join the Knights of Matilda? Of course, it was my first time seeing a man so nervous that his teeth were chattering. Don't make fun of me. For me, that was the critical moment when I could finally turn my dreams into reality. You always did overthink things with that seriousness of yours. The enrollment exams don't prohibit multiple tries, you know. What are you saying? If I failed, I would have been forced to wait until the next year. Well, I came with a letter of recommendation from the Free Knights myself. So I was in the same position, not being able to fail. But my opponent in the mock battle had so much fighting spirit, I really had quite a hard time. They were just going to watch our swordsmanship, but you were so desperate to win, they started getting anxious for someone to finally end it. Same goes for you, doesn't it? Whose fault do you think it was that we broke the record for the longest mock battle in the history of the exams? Even the judges were quite amazed. That's my line. But we may have been incredibly reckless in those days. We sure were. The world seemed like a much simpler place back then. Good deeds and bad ones. For our sense of values, that was all we needed. It really was. But that has changed as well. The day we threw away our knight emblems, the result of our battle was already decided. For Maki's village, too. What a foolish thing to say. What? I may no longer have a knight's emblem on my chest, but I still have a knight's pride. There are good and bad spots in everything. That's what Miss Marina said. That being the case, I will live on, in order to make sure the good spots increase as much as possible. Heh. You really are wonderfully simple. Sorry about that. Well... Mr. Nash? Have you finished? Oh, You were eavesdropping on their conversation, weren't you? Well... Just wait a minute. I'll finish chopping this firewood in a flash. Good old Nash. Always up to something. Hey, Nash! What? Turning towards the boys, the color drained from my face at seeing Gijimu's gang standing there. This ain't the time to be chopping wood all carefree like. You've got a real problem. Those guys are already coming this way. What did you say? That can't be. It's too soon. It looks like that mayor guy sent a messenger to them. So, how many are we looking at? Lots more than before. Can't be less than 30 men out there. I heard the bandits are on their way here. Yeah, we're in big trouble. I'm worried. The villagers are still in the square. Excuse me. They've come way too soon. On top of that, Mayor Clado said something about coming to an agreement and is gathering all the villagers in the square. I'll do something about the villagers, but we've got to hurry. As it is, I don't see any way this can end peacefully. Yes, if we can dispel our infamy with this, then... I don't know about that, but I could take that gusto down a notch or two if I brought him this bastard's head as a present. Then I will also... Camus, you're fine here. An injured person will just hold us back. But in this case... Miss Maki, please take care of Camus. Camus? Maki, I absolutely must go. Even without the knight's emblem on my chest, my pride as a knight remains. Those were the words of my troublesome partner. Camus? Of course, you... I'm sorry, Maki. Honestly, it's the same as that time. Maki? This is a dagger my father carried for self-defense. I don't know how to use it myself, but there is magic embedded in the handle. I'm giving you this. Thank you, Maki. I will make good use of it. You've always been like this. Once you've decided on something, you're always so stubborn. We quickly threw a plan together, but when we arrived at the square, we found that the Keepers of the Flame had already set up camp here. Looking at this, I'd guess that talk about giving tribute to the bandits was true. Winding his way through the crowd of villagers, Clado appeared before the bandit leader. Behind him, several people came, carrying the tribute in their hands. Having laid the goods on the ground, Clado prostrated himself there. My lord fire hero, we, the people of the village of Millet, humbly obey your words. Please give this village your divine protection from now on.
This is all the tribute you have? What a pitifully poor village.
What's he looking so proud of himself for? Shh! They'll hear you. More importantly, everybody, take your places. I'll give the signal when it's time. When I do, begin following the plan. Everyone slipped into the crowd and disappeared. As I waited for the right timing, I listened closely to the leader and Clado's conversation. You've gone through a lot of trouble. I'll be taking this tribute then. The leader signaled a subordinate and carried off the tribute. Any time now. I hit a firebomb in the palm of my hand. It would set off a small explosion in the middle of the square. That was going to be the signal to the others. What is the meaning of this? Clado raised his head with a bitter shout as the bandits drew their swords and seized him. That's what you get for trusting bandits, bro. We've received our tribute, and conveniently, the villagers are all gathered here too. Now, let's cut to the chase. I am aware that traders gather at your little hoof and grass flute feast. I'll be taking all their goods. Of course, it's just as Gijimu said. The leader placed a hand on his sword. He's planning to kill Clado. Shit! It's time! It's go time. The firebomb I threw was knocked down by the leader's sword, but at the moment, it fell. Small columns of fire and white smoke spread around the area. The villagers, huddled in panic, were surprised at the sound and scattered from the square like baby spiders. Taking care of the villagers will be up to Ely's team. Next, it's our turn. You, from before. I'm impressed that you managed to survive. Looks like you have even more luck than me. You should probably be worried about your own life, though. Mr. Fake Fire Hero. What are you? That talk about you still being alive after more than 50 years? That's a fairy tale. Heh, fool. The true fire rune dwells within me. Those who wield the 27 true runes are bestowed with the power of everlasting youth. Those pillars of fire before were supposed to be the power of one of the 27 true runes? Give me a break. You don't know much about the world, do you dumb bastard? That's right. If I compare that magic from earlier with the sinister power I've seen before, this is mere child's play. How cheeky, coming from someone pretending to be a blue knight. Take this! The bandits lashed at their horses and came rushing towards us. Following our plan, we turned our backs to them and ran in different directions. Hold it! You trying to run away? We continued running as the bandits shouted after us. Before long, we'd run past the area devastated by the fire and onto a narrow street of clean buildings. Koyu! Here they come! Alright! Koyu's voice came from atop a partially destroyed building. Hey, you guys! How about you try this on for size? Koyu pulled on a rope, causing a mountainous heap of rubble to come crumbling down. You little brat! With the path blocked to their horses, the bandits chased Koyu on foot, but he quickly disappeared among the buildings, and made catching him impossible. Well then, the guys that are left will be my opponents. That should do it. Everything is good on my end, too. Let's go to where Big Bro Gijimu is. Gwah! You bastards, haven't you heard of Gijimu of the Lamp Dragon Bandits? You're not getting past me. Tell him. Gijimu was blocking the way to the door of a building, fending off the bandits' attacks. Bro! Don't tell me splitting up was a bad plan after all. In that case... I threw a smoke bomb without a moment's delay. Why? The hell is this? You sneaky bastard! Where'd you run off to? While the bandits were stumbling around, we joined up with Gijimu. Alright. Bro! Are you okay? Bro! Yeah, somehow. What about Lo Wen? What happened to that spirited lady? We screwed up. Lo Wen was shouting all mad-like when an arrow came flying straight at her. Then somehow I ended up fighting these guys who were hiding in this building. As the smoke screen began to disappear, the ring of bandits closed in on us. Looks like there's about 15 of them at a glance. With just me and Koyu and an injured Gijimu, this might get a little tough. But we can't just abandon Lo Wen and run. On top of that, I'm worried about leaving Miklatov by himself much longer.